The Ring Fanatics podcast, episode 171. I am Nick, your host, and today I am joined for the SummerSlam prediction episode from the Turnbuckle Tabloid podcast. Please welcome Mike. What's going on, man? How's everything?
I'm good. How about you? This is very interesting. Interesting collab.
Yeah,
One half of Turnbuckle Tabloid and Ring Fanatics.
exactly. Half of both podcasts coming together, finally doing an episode. Just us two. Our other halves couldn't make it on, but it's not stopping us from doing this SummerSlam 2024 prediction episode. So before we even get to the matches, I just want to ask you, Mike, what are your thoughts on this pay-per-view with build up, everything heading in? Because we are about, I would say, about 48 hours away at the time of this recording from SummerSlam. What are your thoughts heading into it? Are you excited? Not excited?
I will say for the second biggest show of the year, this is probably the best SummerSlam build in years, honestly. Maybe last year, I don't know, I have to remind myself on the matches from last year, but up and down, we'll go into the card. I think this is probably the best build SummerSlam lineup we've seen in a long time. I mean, all the matches make sense.
Yeah.
And it's always interesting with the WWE shows because we've been doing the 5 matches for the last couple shows. But when it comes to the big shows like WrestleMania and this, 7 matches actually.
Yeah.
The
Which
one
is
thing
not
that
bad of amount of matches for this either. So.
And the weird thing is that they're doing a 3-hour pre-show with no matches.
I was gonna ask that too because like one of the things that like it's weird about that is they have 2 SummerSlam worthy matches happening tomorrow on SmackDown. You could have easily put both of those matches, those tag matches, to fill up time on the pre-show. So I don't know why they're doing that. Maybe there's reasoning for it. I don't know.
But Uncle Howdy is. That's you would think that they would want to do a big entrance at a big stadium like this. Would you think?
I mean, yeah. I mean,
even if it's the daytime. I mean, shit. Just the idea of Uncle Howdy in a stadium, like to test it out. I mean,
of course. That match too. There's could have been 3 matches then exactly. So I don't know their thought process behind that. I guess they're trying to like sell the whole SummerSlam, like SmackDown and Raw before and after SummerSlam. They typically do with like WrestleMania to make it a must-watch TV. But again,
there's no tag titles on the line on this show. They're all on. Well, you said there's 2 tomorrow: the women's tag and the SmackDown tag team titles. So,
and the Raw tag team belts are. I mean, Finn and JD have done nothing with them. They're not even in the feud at the moment. So,
nope.
There's really nothing to do with them for SummerSlam. Randomly.
It kind of makes make us think: was it really worth it separating the belts again?
Yeah, that is true. Even though Joel always says it all the time. I don't think Triple H cares that much about the tag division, which I kind of agree with. You've seen it for a while. The best thing they've done with them was split it up, but again, that's also questionable of a decision to even have.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's kind of like we don't know what they're doing with it. Maybe we shall see once the tag division they put more focus on that, but we don't know.
Maybe. I mean, they have talented teams as well. I mean, it's also weird too if you think about it. For the title match to do tomorrow, it's DIY versus Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu.
Yeah.
Now we all love Jacob Fatu. We saw him on the Independents go to the grinds, but it should have been the Gorillas of Destiny. I mean, Tonga Loa is like the meme wrestler at this point because he's botched everything so far in his WWE run. So, I mean,
yeah,
I don't know. We'll go through the whole show. I do think we'll probably get another member. Hikuleo's been signed, so or Tala Tonga, whatever name they trademarked for him.
Yeah, which is a dumb name.
Because if you don't get it, he's tall.
Yeah. That's the corniest name I've heard in such a long time.
I mean, we were this close to getting Caesar Sikoa. That close. Fatu.
We don't know. It could happen anyways with Solo. So we don't know.
Maybe.
That could still possibly happen. But Drew, Yeah, but let's get into the card right away.
Mm-hmm.
First match on the card we have is for the Intercontinental Championship, Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker. What are your thoughts on this match, and do you think it is time for Sami Zayn to drop his title?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, let's be real here. Sammy has had a great run since Mania. He's had a couple of defenses on Raw in the main event. The Chad feud, I kind of thought it was going to go to Chad, but you know what? Now that they have Braun in this position, yeah, it's time for Braun. I mean, both these guys are pegged for the world title eventually, but it's Sammy's time first. I let Braun run
Yeah.
to the Intercontinental title, so I got Braun winning here.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I was shocked that they didn't give it to him at Money in the Bank, but I guess Sammy was from Canada, so they had to give him the win.
And they do that
Um,
weird thing of it's his first, like, they wanted to get a loss out of him right away, so.
yeah, similar to like the Osprey thing. It's like they wanted him to, he wanted himself to lose to Swerve to get that out of the way, type of thing.
Absolutely.
So it's like I get the loss for Breaker, but I feel like some losses aren't necessary as of right now. I mean, his loss at a premium live event will happen soon, but I feel
Hmm.
like that one was kind of like unnecessary to give
Which
him.
one? The Braun Money in the Bank?
Yeah,
I mean, they
yeah,
also could have done a DQ finish where he goes crazy and like he's out of control. But I get it. They wanted to get the loss out of the way because more than likely Breaker's going to have a Gunther type run. So, or hopefully not over a year.
oh, yeah,
let's make him go to Mania.
yeah.
As
Close
far
over
as
Reign.
challengers, I mean, the Raw roster is stacked with challengers for him. The Intercontinental title scene has probably been the best it's ever been in years. Let's be real here, because on Raw, there's so many great mid carders. I mean, Pete Dunne's a singles now.
Yeah,
Sheamus, Bronson Reed, if he stops eating losses, Jey Uso's still around. I do think though, I will make a prediction. I do think because we're gonna predict later in the for the main event. I
yeah.
do think Jey Uso will go to SmackDown. I do see a trade happening. Jey Uso,
That's what I've been saying too for a while.
and I would say for Andrade, because send Andrade
Ooh,
to Raw because you know who his wife is, and they need a solid woman for that Raw roster.
yeah, that is true. But I feel like
Yep.
if you give Braun that Gunther reign, it's like if you have him run through everybody in that division, it's like who's left for him
Right.
to get pinned. And I mean, yes, like for Gunther, they kind of lined it up with Chad Gable at first to be like he's the perfect opponent, but you don't want to have like a year-long reign and be like, okay, now this person's it. They should have a plan for Braun Breaker to be like, all right, he's gonna lose it at this premium live event or this Raw to this person, and we're gonna extend it out for a little bit longer. So that way they don't have like are up in the air, kind of like with Roman Reigns,
Hmm.
where it's like he's beat everybody, stacked them up, pinned them, and then it's like who's left.
Right.
Um, so I do think that it is best for Braun to have a decent title reign. My prediction for like I do have Braun Breaker winning too, but I do have a prediction for his loss. He should lose it in a triple threat or a fatal four way, so that way
That's
he
fair.
doesn't get pinned. You know what I mean?
I can see a scenario where it's like dragging off. I before they changed his music to that shitty song he has now,
Yeah.
Sheamus, Sheamus would have had a good WrestleMania match with him, but they took away Lobster Head away from us, so no, don't give him the belt
Yeah. I
until he
mean,
gets that song back. No,
Def Rebel's been changing people's music so much. Braun Breaker has like its third theme song like a year.
but you know
So
what? Out of the three, I mean, this is less generic. I mean, I don't know. There's some songs that Def Rebel make that are not bad, but when you blend them all together, it's like, oh, this is horrible.
yeah, yeah, that is true. But you got to stick with one for a certain time instead of changing it as often as title reigns. It's like,
Yeah, and I don't understand the trademarking because I don't know if they use CFO anymore. I mean, Jim Johnson's still fucking around. Bring him back.
oh yeah, yeah, they could definitely bring him back and use him because Beyond the best person to make theme songs, really.
Yeah,
Because most
exactly.
of the ones, I don't think he's had a problem with people changing for him to change people's theme songs.
Jim
For the
Johnson's
most
willing to
part,
come back. That's the funny
yeah.
thing. He's willing to come back. It's just that they don't want him.
I don't understand why they wouldn't want him, but that's like he's the best guy they've had in their history of the company that had the best theme songs. I mean, most of the people that he had made theme songs for kept it for most of the time. Um, there was no issue of changing it.
I mean, there's
So
so many people on the roster right now. Like Kevin Owens still has the same song. Like they ever changed
yeah,
his once.
I feel like it's certain people, they're like, "Okay, maybe we should, like, keep it," and people know who it is when he come out. Like, Sami Zayn still has his from CFO.
Yeah, we'll remember that short period that they changed it, but you know what?
True.
There was a reason for it. I mean, we were this close to getting Randy Orton's song changed, but he kabossed that. He was like, "Hell no."
Yeah. Yeah, that is true. I
Yeah,
mean, no one I don't think they would ever change voices. Voices has become, like, iconic at this point to change. It's like changing Cena's too. It's like Magic came out with a different theme song. Well, technically, there was a leaked one, but I don't know how true that was supposed to happen if he was heel, but, um, we don't know. But,
it's funny.
yeah,
It's funny you mentioned Cena because you know what? The one thing he has not done in his career is win an Intercontinental title. They could tease that. That'd be a great match for Breaker. You
yeah,
could get a win over Cena.
I said this once, I mean, in an episode recently, it was like, I think Cena should win it, though, because
Yeah, small
that's
run.
a title that he hasn't won yet, so it would
Right.
be cool to have him win it, bring back the Cena Open challenges, put over new talent from there.
Yeah.
So, it'll be cool. I mean, I don't know if he'll be the one to beat Breaker for it, but,
But
um,
but then you run the problem of Super Cena, LOL, and then
yeah, here comes the Cena hate for no reason, so it's like, I get the concern
yeah.
of that part, but
Because honestly, with Sami Zayn, I see him as an early Rumble favorite.
that is possible.
Because
Yes.
with my prediction for the world title, that's your WrestleMania match right there, a rematch from last year's, just with a different belt.
Ooh, that'd be a good one. But
Mm,
there's so many bigger names on the Raw roster, I feel like they can have, like, so many potential, like, teases in between to be like, it could be Punk, Rollins, McIntyre, you know, Gunther
mm,
too, Damian Priest. There's so many people that can go for it, but there's also a lot of stories lined up, even from here, you know?
yeah,
So I know Triple H tends to, like, book WrestleManias way in advance, so
which is
it is
perfect.
yeah, so he probably has some matches right now that's, like, already lined up for Mania next year.
Definitely.
Um, but
But
yeah,
yeah,
I got
we're in agreement. Breaker just, I would say run through Sammy, but have Sammy still be competitive.
kinda like what he did at Mania with Gunther, where it's like he was got destroyed most of the match, but, like, he eventually comes back, but he doesn't beat Breaker this time.
Yeah,
It's like he's close. He
comes up
was
short.
there. Exactly. So I think that's how they should do I thought that's how they were gonna do, um, that match at Money in the Bank, was have him run through Sammy in his hometown to get that heel heat.
Hmm.
But, yeah, this is the time to do it, make him more dominant. I thought it was gonna be a triple threat with Dragunov, but do you think Dragunov should have been in this match, or
Mm, no, I also thought originally I think there was going to be a fatal four way because I think it was going to be Sammy, Sheamus, Dragunov, and Kaiser, but Kaiser got hurt too.
yeah, I think he was supposed to be in the Money in the Bank, I heard.
Yeah,
This
to
was.
Kaiser, yeah, Dragunov replaced him, and meanwhile we got Dragunov, Sheamus, and Drew in a triple threat. So, because I mean, Kaiser was probably definitely one of Triple H's projects where it's like he probably wanted to put Gunther in the main event spot and then Kaiser as a secondary. Where we can still see that, but I doubt after this, if Breaker wins, Kaiser's not going to get pushed for a while. Well, until he comes back, but.
And, yeah, we don't even know how long he's gonna be out for.
Yeah, but more
Don't
than
know.
likely, Breakers, like I said, Breakers probably gonna go through like your Otis's and like your jobbers on Raw, and then, I mean, Uncle Howdy. I mean, we really don't even know if he wants that title. I mean, like I said, the Raw landscape is more vast, and I'll get the SmackDown field at this point.
Yeah, and I feel like SmackDown is, like, I don't know what they're doing on Raw, but whoever's writing for Raw doing an amazing job, and should SmackDown team should take advice from Raw. Um,
Yeah, the last couple
and
weeks on SmackDown's been boring.
yeah, it's like
Nothing's really advancing. That's the problem.
and same I mean, the only 2 things that I'm expecting highly anticipating for tomorrow are the tag matches, but anything else is like, that's what you have planned for the SmackDown before SummerSlam, you know? You wanna promote that kind of big too.
Yeah.
Um, but there isn't really much besides the tag titles that are big happening on SmackDown, you know what I mean? So, who knows? This could be a return tomorrow, there could be something happening, but we shall probably wait and see for that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I got Braun Breaker winning. You had Braun winning too?
Same. Total
Yeah.
total agreement.
All right. So next match on the card is for the U.S. belt. Logan Paul defending his championship against L.A. Knight. Uh, it has to be L.A. Knight winning this match, right? I mean,
Yeah, but I mean, let me ask you this: are you that type of fan that really cares about how long Logan's had the belt and how many defenses he's had? I mean, it's like over. We're getting close to a year, and he's only had 2 televised defenses.
I mean, kinda, but not really. It's
Yeah,
like 2 defenses in almost a year. Is very.
Rumble and Mania. That's the only two.
Yeah, I mean, that is a very little amount. I get it for that long of a reign, but at the same time, it's like it was more of like a publicity reign.
Oh,
He didn't
absolutely.
really.
Just the idea of putting that belt on his podcast, and then the recent string of I mean, the dude interviewed Donald Trump,
Yeah.
our next president, or second next president. God forbid, we don't get into politics, but I mean, just the visual of the U.S. title sitting on the table is like Jesus Christ. I mean, eventually Logan Paul, I guess, it could happen with the world title, but that'd be like when people like officially lose their minds. But
That's a too far of a stretch for right now for Logan Paul.
right, but I look at this match for LA Knight. I mean, also I was reading before Logan has some apparently has heat with the company now because of his comments about the transgender boxer.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much that plays into this, but I look at this as this has got to be a win for LA Knight. I mean, this dude has been losing every title match he's in. I mean, the match with Roman, the Fatal 4-Way, a Rumble.
Yeah.
Like, he grabs wins, but when it comes to big time wins, it's not that much. If
I
he
mean, I
loses
feel
the first
yeah.
time for this, it'd be like, can you win anything, dude?
And I think it's deserving of LA Knight to have it now. I mean, like, I feel like for a while, he's had this popularity of fans, and then they're still there. They still chant the yeah. They still give him that big pop every time he comes out. But it's like they got to give him something to just balance that out and to bounce off the hype. Because yeah, the whole yeah chance and the whole pop can last for a while, but you can't just have him like you said. You can't just keep taking loss after loss after loss. Eventually, it's gonna die down. Um,
It's the Jey Uso effect where they're majorly they're over as hell to be top stars, but when they win, it's got to count. It's got to be the
yeah,
big
and
wins that
it
count.
just looks like he's just there just to be there, and it's like
Yeah,
he's not there to be there. There's a reason why he's over, and they got to capitalize on that.
and he's
But
not getting
I
younger.
exactly, I understand kind of for Jey Uso, but it's like this is not Jey Uso. This is someone completely different. Their career paths are completely different from Jey Uso, who was a tag team specialist for his entire career. LA Knight's been killing it and needs a title, you know?
Hmm.
So there's no reason for him to get this loss at
The only
SummerSlam in the
thing,
big
the only
stage.
thing I could see with this is that they do a DQ finish and then save the title win for Basher Berlin in 3 weeks after this show.
Yeah, I guess, but I get it. Like LA Knights, I mean, sorry, Logan Paul's from Cleveland. I don't know if that
Hmm.
would take effect in like the decision. Like, oh, he has to win it because that's his hometown. Um,
Also, what kind of reaction is he gonna get? Is he actually gonna get cheered in his hometown, or is LA Knight over enough to get cheers? Because it'd be
I
weird
mean,
for people to boo him and then still go do the yeah thing.
I think he's gonna get mixed reactions.
Hmm.
I don't know if he's gonna get like 100% boos. I mean, Logan Paul's been doing a great job as a heel enough to not get that many cheers.
Hmm.
Um, so I don't know if I mean that is a good question to think about. Like, will he actually get like will LA Knight get the boos because Logan Paul's the hometown guy? But I don't know. He also did say he has a surprise for tomorrow. Um, someone
His
must be coming
brother.
out with him. May even get him more heat. I guess
Yeah.
that.
That's why I think if his brother shows up, they're definitely gonna do a screwy finish for Saturday.
God, I'm scared about that to be
I know,
honest.
but I'm gonna go with the safe bet. I'm gonna say it's time for LA Knight to win. Give him a win.
He deserves it. I mean, I mean, people have been wanting this since Mania. People thought this was going to be the Mania match,
Exactly.
and the fact that we didn't get it, it's like we have to get the win now. If it's not now, when
It's
will it
it's,
be?
it's never.
Yeah, it's now or never. So we need somebody to defend the belt often, to be there often. Logan's been like a part timer in that schedule, and I understand the
Mhm.
reason for the giving the title, but it's like, come on, it's not his time right now. It's
Exactly.
so it has to be LA Knight.
Hmm.
Um, who do you think will challenge LA Knight for the belt afterwards? Who do you think is a credible opponent?
Well, until they put him in a tag team, I thought it'd be Jacob Fatu because I mean Fatu would be a great mid card guy, but I mean you also have guys like Carmelo Hayes, Andrade. Really, I mean like I said before, the SmackDown side is very thin. I mean AJ Styles is technically still on that roster. Shinsuke Nakamura is still there, but I hate to even say it, but they're defined as losers. That kind of sucks to say,
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
mean it's really not that big of a thing on SmackDown, honestly. Like LA
yeah,
wins, but then just I guess it'd be the Braun. It's the opposite of the Braun Breaker effect. Of we know Breaker will hold the belt longer. LA Knight, I could see him lose by Rumble or earlier by Survivor Series, which kind of sucks.
yeah. I mean, I feel like this will be more of like the compared like the IC title will be more of like Braun Breaker putting dominating everyone on the roster as compared to this point. It's like LA Knight might have the better matches
Hmm.
with his defenses. So that'll be like the match quality over how long he has it for. So we could see like again, I do agree with you, and it sucks to say, but like I don't see him holding it past Mania or even past the Rumble, really.
I mean, if we did another hypothetical trade and send Gable and the Creeds to SmackDown and for AJ in the club or the OC, Chad Gable holding that U.S. title as like the ultimate American hero. I mean, shit, I'd buy that. It'd
Oh
be
yeah,
like it would be like the consolation prize. You can't win the Intercontinental, so you get the U.S. title type of thing. But
I mean, because that storyline would make sense.
yeah,
Having him win the U.S. belt and be like, "Yeah, I was an Olympian," something like that.
I'm gonna bring
Um,
honor back to our country that you stupid Americans can't.
like the MJF of WWE, like what he's doing right now, that kind of thing.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, which I wouldn't be mad about, but if someone's already doing it on the other show, it's like, you know, I don't know, it'd be like copy and paste type of thing.
Oh, the AEW tribalists will fucking flip out.
Yeah, oh, for sure. But
But
that could be a possible trade for Chad Gable to be like, I don't want to be on the same show as the Wyatt Six. I want to be out of here or something.
exactly. I mean, let's be real here. They say there's trades. We barely see any trades ever. I mean, we had a draft special where you would sit there for 2 hours and then three, and then it'd be like, what changes happened? Maybe one or two. You're like, I just sat through this shit for nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that are like maybe like up to like at most two trades. I could definitely see the J1 happening, and we'll probably get to that later. But like
Yeah.
that's the one trade I can see happening and maybe Gable. Sorry, I just went mute. But those are the only two people that I can really see like getting traded to the other brand.
I mean, LA Knight too. If say he loses, I'd send him his ass over to Raw
Yeah,
because there's
I
nothing
mean,
else for him to do on SmackDown.
yeah, okay, yeah, but maybe he could be the one to take out Breaker. But how much longer will that take to be like, okay, now he has to wait till next Mania or next whenever Breaker's going to lose it to win that title? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. I, I'm going safe on this one. I'm going to say LA Knight wins.
Same here. I'm gonna go with LA Knight. I mean, I think after what happened today, it'll be like make it safe and give it to LA Knight. It's the right
Yeah,
time too
yeah.
to even take it off.
WWE does not need another PR nightmare with everything going on with the Vince trial stuff. Like they really can't afford to have another guy on their roster. I mean, it's been good. It's been good for Logan, but it's time to move on.
Yeah, I mean it is what it is, but as long as they give it someone who's more active, then that makes sense. But yeah,
Hmm.
next match on the card we have the women's championship. Bailey defends her title against the Queen of the Ring winner Nia Jax. Um,
Queen of the Wing.
either way,
I
like
mean, this match has been official since May.
May, yeah,
Jesus, we're in August. They,
yeah, I know.
this is one of those things with Bailey where it was a good WrestleMania moment, but the follow up in the last couple of months has not been the best, honestly. I mean, the Piper Niven thing at Clash was fine. They try to tease with Blair Davenport, but Blair's nothing really. She's not a major player. I mean, you still have the thing of Tiffany Stratton running around with the briefcase, which I think by SmackDown tomorrow she'll have a purse to replace the
Probably, yeah.
broken briefcase. But this one, I see Nia Jax winning it. I mean, Nia Jax, this is her best run at it in her career, and just the idea of her having the belt because she does have opponents. Bailey does not. Nia winning, you can do her and Naomi, her and Bianca, and then her and Jade Cargill eventually. But yeah, I see Nia winning this.
Yeah, I mean, and then you could also have the tease of Tiffany happening here and there, be like, yeah, I could potentially cash in whenever I want.
Right.
And that could possibly lead to maybe a heel or a babyface turn for one of them down the line. I don't know who they would turn, babyface because both of them play well as a heel. But
Mm.
that could definitely happen down the line to set up Tiffany as a potential challenger or Nia Jax. Or to, like I said, just make Tiffany the next champion. And Nia is just the transitional champion for her. But we don't know. But that could one of those two could potentially happen.
The only thing is, if Nia wins, it'd be another. It'd be bad if say Charlotte comes back and then they go straight to that because I mean that could be a WrestleMania match as well. I mean we don't with the women booking because you mentioned earlier what everybody criticizes Triple H in the tag team booking. He's not really a good women's booker either. Let's be real here. He's not really put a lot of focus on women's booking.
Except for the Rhea and Liv match. I think that's the best
Yeah,
thing we're gonna
that
have.
I mean that story wise, yeah, but as far as like setting up challengers and other shit, that's not really a strong suit. This women's division is not as strong as on paper. It looks great, but it's not strong that it should be. To where like in AEW where they have several people that can challenge, but in WWE it's so limited. It's not even funny.
Yeah. I mean, that is true. I mean, I do agree with you when you said that Nia Jax could potentially have more challengers than Bailey. Because if Bailey wins against Nia, then it's like, is it forced to have Tiffany cash in at some point? Because that's also a possibility if Bailey retains, if the cash in happens the same night.
Yeah.
Um,
There's not that many women on the SmackDown roster at this point. I mean, you have Michin who I don't know is not ready. I mean, these women are talented, but just they're not built up strong enough. Like you can't convince me on a paper if you say, "Oh, Michin or Tegan Knox could automatically get a title shot," and I'm supposed to believe they can win in their first chance. Like no,
yeah, I mean, unless they build them up more, because for Meechin, it's like she's at least doing something with on NXT too to kind of build up her name a little bit.
but Davenport's there as well. I mean, on Raw they have a lot of women. That I mean, there's also too they have the thing of putting them in tag teams to try and build up the women's tag team division, but that also takes away individual challengers.
Yeah, unless their plan is to have the world titles to be like a long length feud. Unless like there is a screwy finish with this match and it ends up happening in a rematch at Bash in Berlin. Um, and then that's where the cash in happens.
Mm-hmm.
But I do feel like that could be like a way to get the title on Tiffany. It's like
Right.
Nia Jax had the chance, but she failed, and it's like, could we see tension between Nia and Tiffany
Right.
from here on out? Um,
Because with Tiffany too, once they introduce a new, if they do introduce a new briefcase, they want that shit to sell on WWE Shop. So it's gonna be a while until she cashes in. Let's be real here.
yeah,
WWE
that's true.
cares about the money a lot. So if she has that briefcase for 6 months, they're gonna sell pink briefcases or pink purses, what handbags, whatever they choose on WWE Shop instantly.
That is true. That is true. Damn, I didn't even think about that. But yeah, yeah, I
that's
forgot they
what that's
use
what
that as a
that's what this
prop. Yeah.
company. Yeah, it kind of sucks to use that big. They're not gonna do it because they want to sell merch, but that's what they want to do.
Yeah, they did it last year with Priest's purple thing, so I guess that makes sense to have it on Tiffany for a while.
Right.
But yeah, that will sell. That definitely will sell. You're gonna see people walking around live events with the purse on their shoulders or the briefcase, um,
Hmm.
a lot more.
A
But
big money, the big logo on a pink purse.
yeah, that's gonna be that is a good idea for her because it makes sense, like, to have, like, a purse, you've never seen anything like
Handbag,
that.
whatever accessory Tiffany's trying to, like a doors or something.
Yeah, yeah. So that does make sense, I do agree with you on that, and, I just feel bad for Bailey because it's like her title reign has been, like, not
Lackluster.
as not yeah, it's hasn't been as good as we wanted it to be, I guess,
Right.
but, you need to move on eventually with this to get that all because if she loses, people will go berserk on social media,
Oh yeah,
regardless of.
because Nia Jax has her haters for so many years now.
Yeah,
She's
and
she's reckless. She doesn't know what she's doing. But like I said, when it comes to this run, she's been pretty good so far. I mean, the match with Rhea in Australia, that was probably her best match up to this date. So
there hasn't been any reports of her injuring anybody, since she came back, so she's clearly done something right this time
knock
around.
on wood, and God forbid
Oh,
Bailey gets hurt in this match.
yeah, I mean, I hope she doesn't injure Bailey, but, like, she's been doing better, and I think I wouldn't be surprised if they gave it to her at SummerSlam. She's been killing it. I think Tiffany was supposed to win the Queen of the Ring, before her
Mm,
controversy happened.
I don't think
Um,
so. I think it was always planned for Nia to win.
yeah, I mean, I wasn't mad at Nia winning the Queen of the Ring, but, like, it kind of felt like they weren't going there originally with the whole Jade disqualification loss, and it was like, that's kind of weird to see happen on a SmackDown
I mean,
for
again, it's like
her.
the Braun Breaker thing where they wanted the newbie rising star to eat a loss. Where it's like, if you want to build them up, I mean, Jade went undefeated for like 2 years straight. So
Yeah, I mean, unless they didn't want her to have that same, like, expectation on in WWE to where it's like she should take a loss now and, not expect her to go that way and have everyone get let down when she finally does lose to somebody.
yeah. And with Bailey
So,
too is that she's very talented, but I can also see WWE at this point with her dropping it to Nia, then transition to, because it's been rumored for so many months now, the mid card women's belts. She'd be a perfect first option for like a women's U.S. or Intercontinental champion. But we have to wait and see on that one because they're
yeah.
testing it out in NXT with the NXT Women's North American title. So
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, they're kinda doing it down there, and it's from what I'm hearing, it seems to be going well.
yeah,
So unless if it's working for them, then I guess it could work on the main roster to be like, "Yeah, we could finally bring it up." Maybe they'll introduce it randomly on SmackDown. Sorry, on SummerSlam, and then that's when they, like, announce a tournament and Bailey's a part of it and she wins it.
maybe.
Um,
I mean Bailey against like somebody like a Roxanne Perez would be a good final because you have
ooh,
like women in NXT like Roxanne Perez, who's definitely getting called up soon once she drops the belt, and then they're bringing in Julia, Stephanie Vaquer is gonna start any week now, which I I'm trying to remember your reaction, but that was insane to see. Like, oh, she's on AEW pay per view. Oh, no, she's in WWE. She just
oh, yeah,
dropped
yeah.
everything and went straight to the opposition.
It was like I guess that AEW match was like a tryout for her.
Exactly.
It was like they got her attention. It's like, "Hey, now we wanna sign you to our company." She took it, like, immediately.
Yeah,
So,
you just gotta leave Mexico and drop all your belts.
yeah, yeah, it's like, "Sorry, but you gotta drop everything that you worked hard for right now." But,
And that
I
weekend they did the tour of Mexico, and she was on that tour, which was insane.
yeah, I heard she was supposed to compete for the belt or defend her belt that weekend, and then they kinda, like or coming up before
Yeah, she was
she
supposed to do a defense against somebody, but yeah, that was not. She just said no.
yeah, but, yeah, and then she
Yep.
did the tour in Mexico with WWE. Great way to introduce her. But yeah, I mean, I do agree with you. I think Roxanne will have to lose the belt eventually. So to see like Bailey versus a future they're nicknamed the Prodigy, so it makes sense to maybe do something like that for the mid card belt if they
Hmm.
introduce it. So that it makes sense.
Yeah.
Um,
Nia Jax. I think Nia Jax walks out. I think so far we'll have new champions straight up, like 3 for 3 at this point.
yeah, I agree. I think Nia Jax. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if she also loses the match, Nia, unless they're planning on having Bailey keep it for a little bit longer.
Mm.
But I feel like this is the right time to have her lose it. Because I feel like what a lot of times that WWE does is like they like to keep the titles on their big names for a while.
Hmm.
Um, like when Seth won his title, he held it for almost a year. Um, they have Cody. I think he's not going to lose it anytime soon. You're having
They're waiting for the fucking Rock to come back.
Yeah, and I feel like they have a habit of doing that with their big names. Like, yeah, you have a championship, you're gonna hold it for almost a year. But it's
Well,
like
yeah.
it's not fair. I think for her, for Bailey specifically, it's like it's makes sense to lose it now. It's
And
just why
also,
not?
think about this for Nia Jax's case. She earned this by winning the Queen of the Ring. You don't want the first Queen of the Ring to lose the title shot as soon as she gets it, because WWE always wants to paint the narrative of if you win the King and Queen of the Ring, you become a champion. Like that's always that you have to go by WWE narrative. So I doubt they want their first Queen of the Ring to lose the title shot.
Yeah, that is. I mean, not
It
every
could
single
be
one of them
one
have
angle
won
to
it.
do it. Yeah.
So it's like it could be just like, oh, maybe not every King of the Ring has won the world title. So, but like I get this. I see where you're coming from with this one. It's like you don't want her to lose immediately.
Well, technically, all the King of the Ring, except for Billy Gunn, won the world title. Never mind.
I
For
mean,
Mabel.
and the last like few, I would say Xavier Woods didn't win it, but that's forgettable. No one remembers that. And
Well,
then,
except Karrion Cross, if you watched Raw.
oh no, I mean like people forget his like King of the Ring
No, yeah,
win.
exactly.
Yeah, but yeah, I think he did bring it up. But I think Sheamus didn't win it after he was king during his King of the Ring one. I think Wade Barrett.
He was already WWE champion. Wade Barrett didn't win it yet.
So there's a few
But
that didn't, but like I guess I
for the
agree. It's
women,
like,
they definitely want to carry that narrative if she wins. They're gonna be like, "Oh, she wins Queen of the Ring, and now she's the champion." Like all hail Queen Nia.
yeah, because they could definitely do something with that. And that's what I thought Tiffany Stratton was gonna do, be like her apprentice or something to like kind of like what Ludwig Kaiser is to Gunther, you
Mm.
know, in some type of way.
And funny enough, they're dating in real life, so it'd be like we're
Yeah,
doing the same gimmick on
yeah,
TV.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, unless they do, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't be mad if Nia wins because she does deserve it. But at the same time, it's like they're big fans of Bailey. This should just be like a credible opponent for her. Having Piper Niven and Nia as back to back challengers, two big threats for her, and she wins both. I guess they want that narrative to be in people's minds to make it less boring.
I mean, Nia and Piper against each other. That shit would be interesting.
Yeah, that would be. That would be. But I don't know. Maybe we shall see. This is one where I'm like, it can go either way. Um, but we gotta wait to see when that happens.
Yeah.
So yeah, if I'm gonna choose, I'd probably say Nia, um, over Bailey. But we have Nia winning too. You said,
I'm just thinking instinctively because I'm thinking Bailey's had the belt for a couple months now. I think it's time to move on. I think it's time for the next chapter in this title.
yeah. I think it was just the spark of the moment where it's like she won the Rumble, people were behind her, the whole damage control story. She won it, and that's it. Like they should move on with that.
She's still in that awkward babyface phase where she still has her heel type music, and she's more friendly, but she's still kind of doing the whole the ding dong hello like type of thing. Like it's a weird character mix for Bailey at this point.
Yeah, because she's been a heel for so long, so it's like
Yeah.
we haven't seen her as a babyface since I think the hugger.
I mean, the last time until she killed the Bailey buddies. I mean,
Yeah, so it's been a while since we've seen her as a babyface. So I guess it was a hard transition for that to
and
really.
I don't think they're ever gonna go back to that era. I think that's completely dead because that was interesting era. But you know what? They produced the best Bailey matches out of her career.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree with that.
But I agree with you. This one it could go either way because the whole Tiffy Stratton thing is a major X factor in the finish.
It could be, yeah. I mean, if they that's the thing though. But I also agree with you with like, or if they introduce a new briefcase, it's like, are they going to give it time to see it on TV before they sell a whole bunch?
Right.
Unless they just sell out a whole bunch the first night and it'd be like, all right, maybe it's good enough. We could have her cash in immediately.
Mm.
Um, but we don't know. We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like Naya should take this probably. Um, if I had to choose between one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, next match on the card, we have the Women's World
Ooh.
Championship, Liv Morgan. Well, it's copy and paste from the men's one, but Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley. Uh, do you think Dom will have a factor in this?
Oh hell! Oh hell yeah! I mean, I will say this. I'm in the minority on the whole thing from like it was last week. Last week they did the whole
I
live and
hate you
booty.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I took that as them throwing off the scent. This one's interesting because you could have there's two ways of doing this. You could have Dom cost Rhea accidentally or on purpose.
okay.
So because I think Liv Morgan retains. I think drag this out longer, and you know what? If it gets monster heat, put these women in the cell. You have bad blood in October. October,
Yeah.
yeah. And you know what? If you have the storyline of Rhea wants to kill this bitch, put them in the cell. I mean, CM Punk already said "fuck you" to my fantasy book. He said, "Stop if there's no place in this business for you." But I mean, the story dictates. I mean, I just love that. This is one of those weird storylines where Rhea is the initiator, where she broke this woman's arm, then Rhea and then Liv does it back, and everybody's like, "Fuck you!" Like
Yeah.
you killed mommy. It's like we're us wrestling fans are weird.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I do have Liv winning too. It's just I feel like compared to her last world title run, which was not the best booking then either. Her
For
main
for Rhea, you mean?
for Liv.
Oh, for
Um,
Liv.
so when she won her main 2
Oh,
matches were
right. Yeah,
Ronda Rousey.
yeah. She pretty much just was in MMA matches, which was weird.
Yeah, and it wasn't the best either.
Yeah.
I think it was short-lived, no pun intended, but, um, I I do
You better
think they
edit
should.
that in, my friend.
Yeah, I might have to put that in. Um, I do think that they should book this title reign much better than the first one.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
and I don't think by her losing will help that. So she does, whether it's a clean win, Dom helps, someone else helps. I do think there is someone else helping. But I do think they should book this championship run for her very stronger than the first one. Um,
It's interesting you say that because not for nothing, there's a woman that could return that you could side put together with Liv, and it's her former tag partner
yeah,
Raquel.
that's what I was thinking. That's what I was
Because
thinking.
I think at the end of the day, because it's all about the Judgment Day on Raw. They take up 8 of the 15 segments on the show. Let's be real here.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
3 hour show, and they're on every hour, every minute. And I, I definitely see Rhea and Damian Priest leaving the group or being kicked out. Because I think like, at the end of the day, Finn or whoever it is going to say, we prefer Liv. And it's like, she's like nice. Because if you think about it, Rhea's more dominant. Like, she's more like, you got to do this. You're going to do this. Like, she's basically their mother. Liv is
yeah,
like, oh, let's fuck around. I give you a PS4. I'll give you your chicken nuggets and your chicken tendies. And it's
yeah,
like they had a blast for the last couple of weeks. I still don't know what they're gonna do. How they recon the key card thing because
yeah. That was a weird thing to kind of
Finn
like.
took it and I'm like, why did he take it? But yeah, Dom's because here's the interesting thing going into the show. I was thinking if they were gonna do a special referee gimmick, it was gonna be for this. Have Dom as the referee.
But I guess they didn't wanna, like, make it too obvious of, like, "Oh, he's
Right.
definitely screwing somebody over." So I guess that's why they probably didn't make it the referee match.
Yeah.
Um, But, I do agree with the Raquel part. That's who I was thinking that was gonna interfere.
And nobody
Um,
would expect it either.
yeah, because people are expecting Dom to do it, and then it's like if
Right.
Raquel comes back, who's been out of action for a couple of months, it's like
Yeah.
it's perfect. It will
And
kind of feel
she
like
has a legit gripe with Rhea as well. I think Rhea has tried to take her out in storyline as well. But yeah,
yeah, and it'll be like that Dakota and Raquel pairing from NXT. It was like she was the bodyguard, doing all the heavy hitting with her opponents. I think they could do the same angle with this, with Liv and Raquel, but do it on the main roster, and it'll probably be much better than how they booked the first one.
and the funny thing is AEW is kind of doing it's the Shawn and
Yeah.
Diesel thing, like
Yeah.
Mercedes and Camille. Like it would be the exact same thing, which I do think with them bringing Camille to WWE, is probably gonna be, let's not copy this. Let's probably go with the Dom thing. But Raquel, I can definitely see that happening. But I do think Liv retains here. I think it's too soon to because this is going to be one of probably 3 matches. This is the first we're getting, so I think Liv
Yeah.
retains here.
Yeah, me too. I got Liv retaining here. I mean, it would be cool to have, I guess, Rio win it because I know she had to give it up because of her injury. So maybe they're probably thinking like, "Oh, we'll give it back to you at SummerSlam."
Yeah,
But I don't think they should do that now. I think if anything, they should extend to, like you said, Bad Blood, and maybe they could do it like the second Hell in a Cell match that night between these two,
maybe.
with maybe Dom as a special guest referee in that match if he's still in between.
I mean, shit. Let's be real here. The memes coming up into this match was custody of Dominic, and they added
Yeah.
Liv and Rhea's faces on Eddie and Ray's bodies. I mean, if I know this is probably an open air stadium, just put that fucker in a shark cage and hang him above the stadium.
Yeah, yeah. I think they could find a way to do that. It's like that'd be cool to do. But
Yeah,
do you think it's possible for Finn to also do something in this match? That way they have that new group of the Judgment Day.
not this one.
Okay.
Not in this match. I do think I think it's just all going to be on Dominic because going into the show, Rhea and Damien have said, "Do not help us. We have
Yeah.
we have it handled." So I definitely think the Dominic coming out of here is going to be the domino effect of what's going to happen later.
Another pun.
Oh,
Domino. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I don't know because that can also be an effect too. Like at SummerSlam. We may think like that could also be a swerve moment where we think it's going to be Dom, but it's ended up being Finn helping Liv, and there's a new faction. With
mm,
JD, and then they're all champions. You
yeah.
know what I mean? And maybe Damien loses that night too. So it's like that could also be an effect.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I don't know because that is gonna happen at some point. I think the signs were clear over the past few weeks of like, yeah, I think Liv and Finn are working together. This past Monday, Finn's face wasn't covered in that backstage segment. Where people are saying, so maybe they're trying to implement that into our minds. But yeah, Finn's gonna help out this weekend. But maybe it's not. I don't know.
Let me ask you, what do you think of the angle they did on Raw with the clubhouse being trashed? Are you one of those people that think Rhea did it on purpose to throw off the scent, like to put the blame on Liv?
That's not what I thought. I mean, now that I think about it, it could have been because that's not what I thought of at first. Or
Because maybe that'd be a reason why Dom helps Liv because he sees the security footage. He's like, wait, like mommy did this, and then you have Rhea be like you didn't receive, you didn't answer my text, or you didn't call me, so I kind of wanted because you're mine, because that's what she said in these promos. He belongs to me.
yeah,
So then he could. It'd be one of those weird things where Rhea is the babyface, but she's claiming rights to another human being. And it's funny too because these
yeah,
two are the same age. They're like 26, 27, both happily married. Uh, I know Jey Uso was teasing the storyline, but and Rikishi was not very happy about that. The man
yeah,
has a wife and kids, but Rikishi just shush, stay in the
yeah. Shush a
corner.
little bit. Yeah,
The
yeah,
bloodlines, and he goes, the bloodline is not being pushed enough. Have you not been watching the product the
yeah. Do
last
you not
5
know
years?
who's the main event? Like, really?
Your son is in the main event.
Exactly. Yeah, you're something the main event. God damn. But I mean, in terms of that, like, I don't. It could be a possibility. I mean, maybe she did try to set up Liv to be like, yeah, you should help me. Liv did this, but we also never like we also didn't hear that Liv, you know, didn't say she didn't do it. If you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's like she didn't
Well,
deny it.
they never confronted her. She wasn't at the building.
She could have said something on social
Well, that's
media to
also
be
a
like,
thing
yeah,
too. You could say she was at the building. They had a pre-recorded thing for her. She could have done
yeah,
that shit last week
that is true.
because she was
She was,
burning the Dom merch and all that shit. She could have done that last week, or
yeah,
late or
she was
early in the week.
outside the building. You know, she could have been outside the building if that was the case. Like, yeah, she wasn't inside; she was outside, unless she took the merch from the clubhouse, type of thing.
I think because she was wearing the Dom T-shirt in the mixed tag. I think she had some stuff like already worn. But again, it's like Mystery Science Theater. Like who did the vandalism?
Yeah, yeah, that is true.
It's like I said, the Judgment Day has been a major part on Monday Night Raw. I think now for 2-3 years at this point, and this was originally supposed to be like an Edge group. So look how
Yeah,
far we've come.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe this Judgment Day stuff wasn't supposed to last this long. You
Well,
know,
remember it was supposed to go supernatural, but Edge kabosed that, and they said, "Okay, you're gonna be babyface now." So he's like, "All
yeah,
right."
because they didn't have any strong baby faces at that time. It was like they needed Edge
Everybody
to,
was out.
yeah. So they needed Edge to come back. It's like, yeah, I mean, to be a baby face. So it's like it makes
Mm-hmm.
sense to do that, but it's like, I guess I don't know, but
Oh,
I know
new
something.
Judgment Day with Liv in the mix. I don't know how those segments are gonna go going forward. That's the only thing. Like, I mean, now it's funny when they catch Liv stretching with Dom in the back. I mean, that was
Yeah,
2000 humor in 2024.
yeah. I mean, Carlito had to add in something extra with like his
I will
comments,
say,
but
Carlito, from a guy that really doesn't, who used to didn't give a fuck, this is really no fucks, Carlito.
yeah,
Which
yeah, and
it's like
then
it's not that hard. And Carlito's like, well, he looks hard to me.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I guess he adds something to the group now, even though he's technically not in it. But he's adding something to it to continue the story, I guess. You know, I think he's adding a little flavor to make it more watchable. But um,
I'm also looking. I'm looking at this. This should be a good match. Rhea's coming
oh
back
for
from an
sure,
injury. I hope, knock on wood, Rhea doesn't get hurt again, because it's one fuck up. Because Rhea is their biggest women's star in this company. Just the idea that they lost her for 3 months probably killed Triple H. She's like, what the fuck do I do? Becky's not coming back for a while. Charlotte is probably on her way. She's still rehabbing from ACL. I mean, like I said with the Andrade trade, if you put him on Raw, Charlotte's the next challenger for this stupid thing.
yeah,
Because you could run Charlotte and Rhea again for Mania and say this is the third of their trilogy. They're both
yeah,
1-1.
yeah. And I think that like the whole Judgment Day Dom and Liv story kind of like made up for her being gone. Like, they had to build up something for her return, and this was the perfect time to do it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Shout out for to Liv to even like put in this whole story. I mean, I don't want to say she put it on her back, but like she was a big factor in making this storyline so good. And
She's a good actress. She's committed to the role.
yeah, and she's doing amazing at it. And it's like again, that's also part of the reason why I want her to win it. To be like, she should even drop it anytime soon. If anything,
Mm-hmm.
she should be going to the Rumble, or at least someone that can challenge the Royal Rumble winner next year
I
to
definitely
make it
give
more
it till the
credible.
Rumble, honestly.
Yeah, but unless Rhea wins it,
Because you have Io Sky on the Raw roster as well. I mean, Lyra Valkyria, she's definitely going to try and get a push as well. I mean, like I said with the mid card on the SmackDown side, Raw's women's division can also benefit from a mid card with Lyra Valkyria and Sonya Deville now. Like they have the talent there. Just Triple H needs to book them correctly. Because with AEW, they made a turnaround on their women. They have three
of
major women's
course.
feuds, all
Yeah,
for their big show.
yeah, and they still have a lot of women that they could use to even add more stories to it. Even on Ring of Honor, they have Athena and all what she's doing down there. So they have a lot of women's action going on over
You know what
there.
the funny thing is? I will turn my opinion around on them if they rebrand AEW Rampage to ROH Rampage, because that's what because I was thinking about this. I was like, WWE does the same thing with NXT. It's not just NXT. It's WWE presents NXT.
Yeah,
Just that you kind of split the rosters or anything, but that's another discussion for another day. But
yeah, yeah,
I mean, there's more heat to add on this feud. Liv should retain let Liv retain on this one.
Yeah, me too. Liv should retain. I mean, I love Rhea.
Either by on purpose or by accidental interference from Dom.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I mean, it would be cool if she got a clean win, but I think Dom has to play effect into this and how she
I could
wins.
definitely see a spot where Rhea's running the ropes, like they're doing like a crisscross spot, but Dom's not looking, so he's like puts his arm out and accidentally trips
Yeah,
Rhea. And he's like, "Oh shit!"
shit, that was Rhea. Yeah, and then Liv does her finisher because her finisher's on the ropes, so it's like
Hmm
it makes sense to capitalize on that move and
We
have
probably
Rhea.
just predicted the finish of this match.
There you go. If it happens, because I'm gonna be at Cincinnati on Saturday, so if it happens,
Just cut to the finish.
yeah, 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 that could possibly happen. But yeah, I have Liv winning. I have
Yep.
Liv winning. So yeah, next match on the card is the one-on-one match: CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre with Seth Rollins as the special guest referee. This
Funny
is
enough,
also
this is the true main event of SummerSlam. This is the match everyone's looking forward to,
yeah,
and the only non-title match out of this whole show.
that is true. Yeah, I didn't realize that just
I
now.
appreciate this card a lot. Aside from the tag team title thing, where you have a 3 hour pre-show, put some fucking title matches. I don't care who the
Yeah,
challenges are at this point, but yeah, I said this on Turnbuckle Tabloid. This is the hottest feud they have going right now, and it's all talking. It's all
yeah.
talking promos. Punk has been. For the love of God, I think Punk's last match was fucking All In last year.
I think Royal Rumble he got injured in the Rumble, but
Well,
that's
I'm
not
talking
his one.
singles
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
on a major show. I mean, he did the house show loop with by as Square Garden in December with Dominic Mysterio, but this is Punk's first singles match in over 10 years for this company.
yeah. And this is one of the best
Aside from the
stories.
Rumble,
Yeah, and it's one of the best stories going on right now. So it's. I mean, I agree with it should have been the main event, but I guess they always have to end the title match with the main event.
when we get to Cody and Solo, there's gonna be a reason why that's ending the show.
Yeah, yeah. I think I know what you're gonna say with that because I think I had the same theory. But with this match, I think McIntyre has carried it all the way through.
Oh,
You know,
absolutely.
obviously he's been the healthy one the entire time, up until recently, so he kind of had
Yeah,
to.
even with the elbow, he was still fucking working.
Yeah, yeah. But like the story has been they made the best out of it, and so the troll that McIntyre has been, even taking a picture with Jack Perry last week at Comic Con, made it so much better. It added so much to the
Was it
story.
at Comic Con?
I think so. It was a San
Because
Diego one.
I'm like thinking, where the hell would these two meet to take this photo?
Yeah, because they both had panels that day. AEW had a panel, and
True.
WWE had their own panel. So I think they were like, "Yeah, just take pictures. This will blow up the internet." But he deleted it the same day, so it was like,
You knew, but there's an obvious reason why.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But
But
yeah, I mean,
and this is one of those feuds where who's really the heel and who's really the baby faces? Because let's think back to this. Because all Drew said at the beginning was, "I prayed that you got hurt," and Punk got hurt. He missed WrestleMania. Drew McIntyre was doing the memes of the grave with the rest in peace CM Punk's WrestleMania dreams, and then from then on, Punk cost Drew 3 times the world title. Three
yeah,
times. The worst was Scotland, and Drew's retaliation was, "I'm going to kill you in Chicago, and I'm going to steal a bracelet that has your wife and dog's name on it." And I love that he brought it out on Monday because Punk was like, "I have heart. What do you have?" Drew's like, "I have the bracelet."
yeah, yeah. I had the bracelet I took from you. Uh, that was there's so many little things that they factored into this feud that made it like edge of your seat, wanting to know what happens. Because there's also could be something that Seth can also screw over with somebody, and
Right. I yeah, go on.
this story can go on to like Mania next year. There's 3 people involved. There's so many opportunities, so many premium live events. Bash in Berlin, it could be a triple threat. It could be Seth versus whoever he screws over.
Or
Um,
probably both.
or yeah, yeah. So we don't know. It
Because
could
I
end
think the
in
ultimate goal is for Punk and Rollins to go at Vegas in Mania.
yeah, and I definitely see this rematch at Bad Blood. This is the other Hell in a Cell match that's most likely going to happen.
Yeah.
So if anything, um, who knows? Seth Rollins, like you said, they could screw over both to have that rematch with an actual referee.
Yeah, I
And
mean, they really didn't explain why Rollins is the referee. I know why, because they said that referees don't want to deal with this.
yeah,
But it would have been nice to have them do a thing where Adam Pearce goes, "Listen, I'm in desperate need of a ref. If you ref this, I'll waive the stupid non-compete thing for the world title, and you can get your shot. But you gotta call it fairly." Then you have the thing of Rollins like, "I hate Punk, but I hate you too, Drew. You beat me in Mania." I mean, because that adds more drama to this.
yeah, because he's
Because
not on either side.
what's to stop Rollins from just hitting them with chairs or killing them, and then counting them both out and just saying, "Fuck it, the match is a draw."
That's not gonna happen. That's
Yeah,
not
but I'm
gonna
saying,
happen.
but hypothetically, that'd be that like
The worst
Rollins'
decision they could
motive.
do. Yeah, yeah, but they wouldn't want to end this match with like oh, Seth just hit them both with the chair. But he's the ref. He can call the match whenever he wants.
Yeah,
You know?
it's under his rules. Whatever he goes, I do think for this, like with the Rhea and Liv thing, it's one of many. I would have Drew win. I wouldn't have CM Punk win this first match. I know it's his first match singles wise, but Drew should win this.
Yeah, that is. I mean, I guess so. Because like, if you want to continue the story, I feel like if Punk does win, that pretty much ends it. I guess. But unless you have like some way of like maybe Seth wasn't looking, CM Punk does a low blow, and then he ends up winning anyways. Or it's like, hey, Seth, you weren't looking, you weren't doing your job properly, and that still sets up the match between McIntyre and Rollins down the line, or Rollins in the triple threat at Berlin, if that happens.
Yeah, I think the triple threat Berlin with all these three with the incentive winner gets the next shot, the world title type thing. You have Rollins win that, then Bad Blood you could do Gunther and Rollins type of thing. So
Yeah, I guess. I mean, if Rollins,
or Priest, whatever. Oops, I spoiled myself.
Gunther needs, yeah, Gunther needs credible challengers to start off his reign if he ends up winning it, but
Mm-hmm.
So that would make sense, I guess, to have Seth Rollins win that triple threat, and then it still adds on to the Punk story. It's like, oh, Punk didn't pin McIntyre, McIntyre didn't pin Punk, so it's like there's still something hanging over one of their heads. It's like, oh yeah, I still want to go one on one with you at Bad Blood, Hell
It
in a
is.
Cell, no one gets involved, type of thing.
It's interesting for this case too, because once this feud's over, we know where Punk goes. Where does Drew go? Because Drew would be in the standpoint of he's still the top heel on the show. I mean, I don't want to keep bringing up trades, but I mean, if Cody needs a challenger, would they be tempted to bring Drew over to SmackDown?
I mean, they could definitely do trade two people at once. It doesn't have to be like
It's not
Jay
guaranteed the
versus
number of people.
yeah. So it could be like Drew and Jay versus two top guys on SmackDown. It's they trade for two top guys on SmackDown, so it's fair,
Do like
you
a
know.
Drew and AJ type thing to even it out type thing.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It's not. It's like kind of like you're like sports leagues. Other sports leagues do that. It's like maybe throw in a first round pick next year.
Right.
SmackDown gets back to back picks.
You get Drew,
So
and we get the right NXT guy we want.
true, yeah. They could do something like that to make it more interesting next year. Be like, oh shit, I forgot this happened. You know,
Because
but
since the pandemic, Drew has been. This is Drew's again to use this phrase. This has been the best Drew McIntyre we have seen in a long time.
of course, yeah,
The troll level is at an all time high, but you know what? His promo work, his ring work is a top notch. Just that it would suck if he gets wasted on the side like Bobby Lashley. Like you don't want him to see like that type of thing of like, oh, they resigned him and they're not going to use him in a prominent role. Drew McIntyre is a top player in this company, where he deserved that new contract he got.
yeah, yeah. Every single penny of it. So yeah, he does
And,
deserve to be
and,
in a top match and not be thrown away.
and with Punk, it's the injury factor. He's got to stay healthy. He could talk all he wants, but we need to see some in ring stuff from him because 3 injuries in a year and a half. This guy, the LA Knight thing, like he's not getting any younger. This dude's getting older. But for this match, I was kind of thinking if they didn't have Punk technically cleared, unsanctioned, but you know what? If this is gonna be straight up, let Drew win. Let Drew win this one.
Yeah,
Because to
yeah,
also build a story too where Punk is like he's not like mentally ready to be in the ring where like he's not like comfortable? Because that's a story you could also tell.
They could also play in the factor of like he hasn't had a WWE singles match in 10 years, and that played into him losing. So it's like,
Yeah,
okay, that makes sense. He's probably like not prepared, and Drew can use that. Like, yeah, you had to have a singles match
Emotions
in
are
10 years.
high.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he's competed in AEW, but it's like in WWE, a different stage in the
Yeah.
SummerSlam. I know he had a Wembley match with 80,000 people, but like this is like they can treat it differently this time around.
50,000 people in Cleveland, and for the emotional thing too is that he wants to kill this man, but he has to follow the stupid
Yeah.
rules of the referee he hates to this very core.
Yeah.
And Drew just taunts him with the bracelet. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of trolling in this match.
Oh, yeah, of course. The whole match is gonna be even from Rollins himself. Rollins could definitely do something to be like, oh shoot, he could screw one of them over. I don't know. There's
Do
so
we
many.
do we care about Rollins' outfit? I mean, the
I
shit
don't.
we
I
saw,
don't care.
the shit we saw on Monday, is that what we're gonna get a repeat?
It's probably gonna be like something 10 times more like 10,
Egregious.
yeah, yeah. So it's gonna be like more bedazzled, fucking those shoulder pads. I don't know.
Those Shawn Michaels short shorts.
Oh god. Oh god. I don't even want to think about that. Um he's definitely gonna do something. Like I think Mondays are just like, oh, this is a preview, but not exactly what we're getting. He's definitely doing something more fashionable on Saturday.
He
It's
looked
like
like a fucking Oompa Loompa on Monday.
yeah.
Or topical Beetlejuice.
Yeah, Beetlejuice. That was yeah. I mean, I don't know. He's definitely doing something more outrageous than what he had on Raw. I can see it coming, and it's probably not going to look pretty either.
Oh my god!
So,
But I got Drew man winning this match.
yeah, I'm gonna have to go with. Do I want Drew? Yeah, I mean storyline wise, yes. I personally want Punk, but storyline wise, Drew definitely has to win this to continue the story. But I'm more of a Punk guy than a Drew guy, but I could definitely see Drew winning to continue the story.
If Tony Khan didn't buy the rights to the song, imagine Drew coming out to Tarzan Boy.
That would be hilarious.
Oh
That
my
would be
god!
hilarious. I
Dude,
could definitely see Drew McIntyre doing that. Drew McIntyre would do that more than CM Punk.
exactly. I mean, yeah, that's. Yeah, I mean,
Or the
imagine
Ring of Honor theme song that Punk had. Oh, what happened? Oh, you just kicked off the thing. But
you kicked me out.
I didn't do
It couldn't handle us talking about Tarzan Boy.
Yeah, you hear Tony Khan's listening. It's like, oh shit.
I mean, shit, have Drew McIntyre come out like entrance, just have him come out like as Tarzan.
Or like, yeah.
And all us wrestling fans are gonna get it.
Yeah, or like come out in the car, be like, "Cry me a river." You know what I mean? That'd be hilarious.
Real glass, Phil.
Yeah, yeah. Cry me a river. Something he's definitely gonna reference that. I feel like that's definitely gonna be something that would be hilarious to see on the screen.
And going through this match card, I do think this is probably gonna be third or fourth going in.
Wouldn't be surprised if it opened the card. It could be the opener. Something to start off heavy.
Start off hot.
Yeah, hot and heavy. Just go right into it.
Yeah. Then the poor bastards in the ICUS, WWE Women's. Because let's be real here. It's this match, the Women's World, and the main event that everybody's going to care the most about on this show.
Yeah. Yeah. So this could start off. Who knows? Yeah. But yeah, I got McIntyre too.
Agreed.
Next match on the card is for the World Heavyweight Championship. Damian Priest defending it against the King of the Ring, Gunther. Is it Gunther's time to win the world title?
Poor Damian.
Yeah, I mean, I Gunther's 1,000% winning this.
I appreciate the fact that they're not having him wear the crown, because Vince was in charge. He put a crown on that fucker's head every week.
Definitely have him wearing the king cape or whatever that's called, whatever they wear.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised they honestly not showing it more often. I thought they would have.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's Gunther. You're not gonna look at that face and then put a fucking crown on him. You're not gonna take it seriously.
I mean, depending on how they book it, maybe, but like it's.
It'd be the thing think of the Sheamus crown where he took it and then made it red.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that is true. I mean, it did look cool on some people, but it's like. Not everyone looks good at it, so I get why they didn't. Him with the suits seems more
professional,
badass. Yeah, so it makes him look even tougher and scarier to go up against.
And they've been playing that up in storyline too, where not for nothing when Gunther he kind of did the whole Triple H Booker T thing. People like you shouldn't be world champion. I was like, where are you going with this?
Yeah,
Vince
yeah.
back in the chair. What's going on?
I'm gonna
But
have to read that Triple H segment from Booker T. Like,
oh man,
Jesus, yeah.
it's people like you, people with nappy hair. But this one was Damien. You come from the
The
streets.
streets, yeah.
Oh, where you going with this, sir?
Yeah, I don't think he was supposed to say that. I think that just came out wrong, and it's like, oh God, Gunther. Like, why would you say that now? Um, but I don't know. I mean, I mean, unless Finn costs Damien the match, and that's like the double heel turn in one night, where
This is
Liv,
this
Dom help the double turn and join the new group.
this is one of those weird scenarios where I could see them hold off on the title win till Bash at Berlin
Yeah.
because they did the thing on Raw where Gunther beat Finn, which by the way, a match we could have gotten before the pandemic, but we were robbed of it. But it's just
Yes,
a
that was
random
the
Raw main
NXT
event.
match, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to be
Yeah,
Takeover Ireland, and that was supposed to be for the UK title.
yeah,
And then it was just on Raw. It was good, but we could definitely see more out of them too. But just that Gunther put the choke back in, I can definitely see Finn being like, that motherfucker tried to kill me on Raw. Like, I want my revenge. He runs in, attacks him for like a DQ. I really don't want to see that, but I could see them because it's like the moment for Gunther to win the world title in Germany instead of fucking Cleveland. I mean, that reaction will be more insane.
yeah, yeah.
Because if he wins at SummerSlam, it's gonna be like, oh, thank God. But it's also like,
But then you have the whole like Gunther being the babyface and Damien going back to being a heel for one night because that's kind of like Gunther's hometown, I guess.
well, they did that too with Scotland and Clash of the Castles. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah, could be like a one night cheering for Gunther, but I don't know. I feel like Gunther winning.
it's Gunther's time to win it.
Yeah, I mean, it'll just basically be like a Braun Breaker similar thing where it's like this is the night to have him win it. Why have another match if you're just gonna do the same thing but have him win cleanly? Doesn't make sense.
And the
But
sad thing with Priest is that he's finally starting to pick up some steam. Where
yeah,
for so many years, for the last couple of years, it's like all rise for the Judgment Day. But then the last couple of weeks, we got to see like the real Damian Priest, like talk normal, big. Yeah, I grew up in the streets, so on Saturday, I'm gonna make the ring my streets, and you're gonna be my bitch type of thing. Like this is the most convincing
yeah,
on the mic I've felt for Damian Priest, because like with the Judgment Day, it's been like we're so dark and sinister. Like nobody
yeah,
fucks with us, but now it's like I see the man behind Damian Priest.
yeah. I mean, that is true. We got seeing and people are loving him as being himself. So it's like he's a lovable guy, I guess.
Oh,
Um,
he's so nice outside of WWE. It's just that when he plays a heel, because his
he,
whole look, he has his
just he's
voice
a
is
tall and intimidating dude. So they had to make him a heel.
right because he kind of fits that Undertaker Kane look thing. He has the voice for it, but he's so fucking talented.
Yeah,
Not to say
yeah,
Undertaker and Kane weren't, but like this is like because when Damian Priest got called up, I immediately think, oh, the guys make him do magic and spooky shit. But no,
yeah,
he pretty much said who he was. He was Punishment Martinez in Ring of Honor. He was just a killer. That's pretty much
yeah.
his role so far in WWE. And I mean, with Triple H taking the helm, he's had a really great run.
He has, and yeah, I mean, it's not a bad decision having them cash in the world championship. It was just at first it was like, okay, where are they going with this? You try to do a couple matches as a heel, and it's like now with this feud, you really get to see the real, like we said, the real side of Damian Priest to be like, okay, now
Mm-hmm.
we love him. Now we're getting somewhere, but you got to face Gunther, who could possibly win it, and who knows? I mean, again, we could see a Finn turn to be like, yeah, now this is Damian's next feud after he gets his
Oh yeah,
rematch.
we're definitely getting Finn and Damian at WrestleMania.
Yeah, and that could possibly lead to it, but we got some
Well,
obstacles along the way.
we got a long way to go.
Yeah, we have a lot of premium live events to get through to get to that match, but how long can they hold that till to be like, okay,
That
now
is
we can have it.
true.
So we don't know. We don't know. But we've seen some WrestleMania stories start in the fall to be okay, now we know this is gonna be the Mania match kind of thing.
Because
But
once Damian loses this belt, it's gonna be okay. How does he bounce back? Because we talked about Breaker and his potential opponents. I mean, Priest could go for that Intercontinental. It would be a downgrade from this, but you know what? Babyface Priest in the long run is going to be solid for them. I mean, the fact that he won the belt at WrestleMania and this is the first Puerto Rican champion since Pedro Morales is the most
Yeah,
insane thing ever. I mean, he appeals to a certain demographic that WWE barely touch upon.
yeah, that is true.
And you just don't
And
want Damian Priest to go babyface to be like, oh, I'm the new member of the LWO, everybody. Like,
yeah,
you don't want that nonsense.
he's gonna bring an LW show short in like the next year. Oh God, please don't do that if they do it. But
If anybody from WWE, don't listen. Just skip over that part.
yes, yeah, don't listen to this part. Skip over.
But I think I have Gunther winning the world title here.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be now. I mean, again, like I said, if it's not now, it's going to be like that Braun Breaker situation. It's like, well, why have him wait till Berlin? Which I get it is his hometown, but it'd also be cool to walk into his hometown as his home area. I don't know if he's from Austria, but
Yeah, he's from. That's also the weird thing too. It would be like a weird country thing where it's like, oh, you're from Austria, but you're gonna win the title in Germany. It's like,
yeah, yeah,
no, because more than like I think every title doesn't have to be on every show. I mean, we've seen some cases where
it's
they
5 matches usually, but
right. I mean, shit. The triple threat with Rollins, Punk, and McIntyre is enough. You don't need to do a rematch. They could do the rematch on Raw too. They
yeah,
want to gain viewers. They're about to end the year, go on to Netflix next year too. So they need ratings to pop. They need. It'd be wise for them to pop a rating with a world title rematch, and then you could do the full Finn Balor heel turn where Priest loses, and then there's a beatdown.
yeah. I mean,
Because Damian Priest has gone public on storyline wise, saying like, "Without me, the Judgment Day is nothing." If I'm all for those guys, I'm taking offense to that.
yeah, true. And he
I
used
mean,
to be the leader, but like, I don't know. There's it, it could happen now with Gunther winning, but we don't know. If I don't know. I hope they don't make him lose to have that. Like I said, the Braun Breaker moment. It's like, come
I
on.
would be shocked if Priest retains.
Me too. I'd be on. Yeah, I would be more surprised if he
That'd be the
really.
outcome where I go, "Why did they do that?"
Yeah, there's no reason besides. There's really no reason unless they're. I can't think of a reason why they would have him retain.
It's a running theme where if Damon beats Gunther, where do you go next?
Yeah,
Because Priest is in that weird babyface heel thing. Who's next? Nobody really. He's pretty much
yeah,
faced all the main eventers on Raw.
yeah. That is true. And he's beating everybody, but it's like I guess Finn Balor, but then
The only one really is Punk, but it's too early to give Punk a title shot.
yeah, he still have to finish that feud first to be like, okay, let's wait till Mania, but I don't know, but I do think it's the time for Gunther. Then he can face hooded baby faces in the meantime. You know, there's so many credible opponents lined
And
up.
if Gunther wins, and John Cena is doing his retirement tour next year, Mania, a potential Gunther. I mean, for Cena, we could rattle off a bunch of things. Mania, he could do his one final time, him and Randy Orton. But I mean, it'd be
It'll
very
also be his
interesting.
last match,
It'd be
but
interesting. It would be interesting to see a Cena Gunther match.
it would be.
See the Hollywood star get a chop, and his
Yeah,
chest starts bleeding, and
yeah.
then Hollywood directors start crying everywhere.
They say yeah, yeah. But I got Gunther winning this. There's no way he loses it now.
Yep.
So last match of the card is for the WWE Universal Championship. Cody Rhodes defending against the new head of the table, Solo Sikoa.
Not the
Now,
Universal, it's the Undisputed.
undisputed, yes.
Which
Do
also
you?
technically is not undisputed. So just I would want for them to just show just to officially just call it the WWE Championship. Enough of
It
this
might as
nonsense.
well. They do the WWE Women's Championship, so why not just call it the WWE Championship for this one?
It
Doesn't
was
make sense.
undisputed for because they merged the WWE and Universal titles. They dropped the Universal part.
Yeah. So
What makes undisputed when the Raw brand has a world title?
yeah, it doesn't make sense anymore. It does not make sense.
It's not undisputed then.
Yeah,
But
that is true.
this is weird where I get it, the push for Solo Sikoa, they're telling the story, but is he ready for this?
That I mean, we talked about it a little bit before. I think this is the part where he loses, but Roman returns.
I agree with you.
And I think that sets up
I think they're
for
gonna do the big setup too. I definitely think. I think Tonga will show up because it's gonna be a massive beatdown. I think Randy and Kevin
yeah.
make their returns kind of. Because at this point, it'd be one, two. How many fucking bloodlines members are there?
There's like
Solo,
4.
Jacob, Tama, Tonga, and then Tala. So it'd be all 5 against 3.
yeah.
And then by the entrance way, you see the wise man, and he does like the whole he does the whole Prince
Come
Nana
over
thing.
here.
Come on out, and
Yeah.
then because once Roman's music hits, that stadium is exploding.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
And
tribal chief is back.
I think we see one at a time though. I think we see Jay first, then Jimmy, then Roman.
Mm,
That way it's like, oh wait, it's not done yet. Then the next one comes out, kind of thing.
no, because you got to build that, Nick. You got to build. You got to build eventually, because then Jimmy. You could do Jimmy coming back and try to get his revenge, and then you have Roman coming back. But you can't put the Usos and Roman back together right away.
Yeah.
That's a moment that you save for TV.
That is that is true. But
Because
yeah, I
what
think
would be the motive?
of like they need some like even the odds, I guess. I mean, you have 5 of them and 1 of Roman, which would be cool to see like Roman take out like each one of them one by one, which would be a cool thing because you pretty much build up Roman to be like Superman. You can take off anyone by himself. So it would be cool to do that by himself, type of thing.
Because
Like
I
if
had
they're all on the
the Bloodline members, a match between Solo and Jacob Fatu respectively. Wasn't like the obvious Roman versus Jacob Fatu match would be the better match out of the two.
yes.
And then Rome, because we're going towards Rock and Roman. Probably not Mania this year, depending if Rock wants to go for the WWE title or not. But I mean, because War Games might be the obvious place to go.
Yeah.
And also, too, I think people are also thinking, "Oh, what if Hikuleo does not join the new Bloodline 2.0? What if he goes against his brothers and joins it? I don't see that. What if it's I do think a dream scenario, would be if Jacob Fatu starts getting a power trip and he becomes the new tribal chief, but he's
Unless
really
like they
taking
do
orders from The Rock.
something unless they do something to where like The Rock comes back not at SummerSlam, but like at some point and it'll be like a 3v3v3 thing at War Games at the first NXT one. Where like The Rock comes out, then maybe Jacob and Hikuleo team with him, and then it's those 3 versus uh, Solo, Tamatonga, Tangaloa versus Roman and the Usos. So that way it's even that way. Because there's a lot of people in that feud.
Because you could have the new bloodline of Jacob and the Tongans against Roman, the Usos, and Solo. Because you also do that thing of Solo begging for forgiveness, everything like he had the power trip, like he was sorry type thing. There's a lot of angles, but I think at the end of the day, we're just pretty much saying Cody retains. Solo is not winning the WWE title.
Nope. No, there's no chat. There's no shot. I'm sorry, Solo, but there's no shot here.
He's not ready for this spot.
No, I mean it's a great story, yes, but
he's pretty much this era's version of his dad, Rikishi. Rikishi had a few title matches, but he was never gonna win the fucking big one.
I feel like it could happen eventually in his career, but not now. It's like it's too soon for Solo. There's just a story filler for Cody and this whole start of the new Bloodline War Games match, and that's it.
Right.
If anything, if they were actually serious about giving the title to Solo, they would have built this up much longer and waited down the line for Solo to win it.
Yeah, Solo's really not done shit on TV.
Yeah, I mean, it took a while. He's adding one member one at a time, and it's like it was slowly building up, but it hasn't gotten there yet. That's the thing with Solo.
And he only has one pinfall on Cody from the last pay-per-view. That's why he has this match, because of that.
Yeah.
Other than that, Tamatonga's looked great. Jacob Fatu has looked awesome. And Tangaloa is just there.
Camacho.
It's funny because on WWE.com they have him separate. They don't even acknowledge that he was Camacho.
I know, but
he's still Camacho on the he's still Camacho on the alumni section.
But yeah, I don't know. I think it's Cody's. There's no shot Cody's losing. There's no way. Not even if they try to swerve us. There's no way he's losing it.
Because he's definitely gonna face Randy soon. Randy, in the last couple of months, he's been looking at that belt like, I got your back, Cody.
I feel like that could be the Survivor Series or Bad Blood match. happening.
More than likely Survivor Series.
Yeah, because I don't think that's the match for WrestleMania, and
No,
that turn has to come soon beforehand. So it has to be one of those two.
the Viper has to strike soon.
Yeah, unless he
Kevin
gets
Owens
involved.
could stay babyface. I mean, because Randy and Cody, the story's right there.
Yeah,
The
they
history
don't have
that
to
we
do
have.
much. It could literally be the next pay per view, and it'd be like it's the story's there. We don't have to like if that's a new fan, then maybe you gotta search it up. But like they don't have to tell much. You know the history,
Yeah,
so it's there. But yeah, I
and
mean
Cody
Roman's
has to
probably
retain here.
yeah, and I think Roman could potentially come out um and return. I would be actually kind of surprised if he doesn't, but um
I do think we're gonna get a face. I don't think Roman's gonna like attack him because they're definitely gonna do like a Roman payment, like come out, confront, solo retreats, and then we're gonna get the whole tune in SmackDown. Roman Reigns speaks for the first time thing.
like a holy shit chance. I mean, at the end, it's like
Welcome back, welcome back.
yeah, and that's the closing shot, face of black, and that's it. That's it.
And then
But
maybe
yeah,
also have a Cody Roman thing. Maybe have Cody and Roman like shake hands, like have Roman pick him up like he's on the ground type of thing. Like have like because you have to have Roman show some type of babyface thing because he's gonna come back as a mega
baby.
babyface.
Yeah, yeah. I think the Cody thing happens first. I think like he scares Solo. Like Solo's like kind of shocked that he's there, and it's like oh shit. They leave,
Mm-hmm.
and then that's when Roman picks up Cody at the end. It's like yeah, I respect you now. That's the start of the babyface run. They didn't have to say anything. It could be just actions, no mic, no words. Maybe they whisper something to his ear. That's it. Just I get it right there.
I mean, you could have Roman be like, "I acknowledge you," like type
Or
of thing.
yeah, that'd be crazy to think about too. But
Like I am the tribal chief, but I acknowledge you, Cody,
you,
for
yeah,
the man that took me down.
yeah, that could be something. That could be it.
And then maybe that could be also another reason why The Rock, because at the end of the day, The Rock is behind all of this. I don't buy Solo as the tribal chief because
Me neither. I don't.
I don't know Samoan history. I don't know if there's a higher rank above tribal chief.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
I mean, maybe
yeah.
Rock calls himself because he's been calling himself the final boss.
Or
He's a
Caesar Sokola. Like I don't know. I don't
Samoan
know.
god. I doubt they're
Yeah.
gonna go. I doubt they're gonna go that route.
No, they're someone has to officially claim the tribal chief name at some point to be like less
Mm.
confusing to people. But I don't know.
We need progression in this Bloodline story. That's the only thing really to come out of this match.
Yeah, and that has to be it though. Unless The Rock surprisingly comes out, but that's not probably not going to happen soon.
I don't know.
I
We're not getting The
doubt it.
Rock till 2025.
Yeah, I mean probably Royal Rumble if anything.
We're probably
But
gonna
yeah,
get a video Survivor Series. Probably maybe when like if the Bloodline, if like Roman and the Usos do like a 6-man or not War Games itself, which I do think they should be in War Games. If like Roman confronts them, be like, "Who put you up to this? Who told you to take my throne?" And then you have The Rock pop up because it has to be a big reveal that The Rock is behind all of this.
yeah,
Where like he acknowledges Tama, Tonga, and like, he just says like Jacob and those they're my family. Usos
yeah,
and you're not my family anymore.
yeah. That is true. I mean, I could agree with that. That could possibly work.
Yeah.
But
It's gonna
yeah,
be some convoluted BS reason.
yeah. True. I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know. We this is something we got like wait and see, and like there's so many things that could happen. It's like a lot in a short amount of time. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I got Cody winning this. It has to be Cody. But
Same.
yeah, yeah. But that is the entirety of the pay-per-view premium live event. Sorry. We could wrap it up there.
Same
Thank you,
shit
Mike.
at this point.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you, Mike, for coming on to do the predictions with me. Where can people listen to the Turnbuckle Tabloid?
On all social media platforms. On Spotify, we just launched a new thing for the New York Wrestling Media, where we're gonna be covering a lot more stuff, new segments, new shows for Turnbuckle Tabloid under the new banner, and just stay tuned on everything. We mostly you can find us on TikTok, Instagram at Turnbuckle Tab.
Perfect. I'll definitely drop everything in the description of this YouTube video. So if y'all can go subscribe to them and follow on all platforms, I really appreciate it. Again, Mike, this has been episode 177 of the Ring Fanatics podcast, and we'll see you guys next time.